passed away a few months before we got pregnant, and so I knew that she wasn't going to be there for me in the postpartum time, and it was really important to me to have extra care built in because I knew I wasn't going to have what she would have brought for us.
Like experienced motherly.
Yes,
Like,
care.
Yeah.
So I wanted to look into having a doula. I loved the idea of someone being there during labor and delivery, but also postpartum. And a friend of mine, or no, my sister's friend knew Mariah and got us connected, and we chatted and just loved the feel of Bridgetown, and wanted to have people around to help us get through that time. Do you have any?
Yeah, I didn't even know that that was an option or a thing, and after learning about it and reading about it, unfortunately, like, it's not available to more people because it makes so much sense to have like the depth and breadth of knowledge available to you in a time where you really have no idea what's going on.
We had a referral to Mariah and someone that had used Bridgetown and really loved them. And we just really liked the people that we met on the first couple of calls, and we felt really, I don't know, connected and felt like they would be really great people to take care of us. And we also liked the packaging, the approach, the fact that it was a team of people. It was just a little bit easier to kind of like logistically figure out than just a single person, because it was a group, and I loved the reliability of that. That was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, from the initial interview process, having like a group of different people, like I initially had said, being able to have multiple inputs and multiple experiences weighing in on like our questions, and being able to pull from this person's knowledge and this person's knowledge was really important to us. And also having the continued repetitive care, where it wasn't just random people every time, but having our whole team and knowing exactly who was going to be there, who I could ask this question to, who was really good at maybe sleep and who was really good at digestion. It was really nice to have just the full spectrum of everybody.
Gosh, everything. I think just getting to know the doulas and seeing them, getting to know Wes and loving him, and it was so special to have like this group of people taking care of us that felt really caring and knowledgeable during a time where we were like not knowledgeable at all. It was really, really special to have people around that had that energy during that time. Was really important to me and really special. I think I also loved that he got used to being with people too, because
that was definitely like a bonus, like an unknown bonus.
Yeah, because he was so comfortable with people like from the start, and still is. So that was a really nice benefit as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like being in school almost, where you're able to learn all these new things all the time, where before, I mean, we read and did all of the prep work you think you could do, and there's just no substitute for experience, and having so many years, collective years of experience with you at all times. Also being able to text you guys anytime we had questions, even when you weren't with us, was really great.
My feeding journey was hard. I never felt like my body was doing the quote-unquote normal thing in terms of supply and production of milk. And so I think the best thing that Bridgetown did for me was tell me that it was okay to do whatever I needed to do in my feeding journey, whether I wanted to keep going and try pumping or try anything. Everyone was supportive of whatever I wanted to do, And so my journey definitely changed as time went on. It was not what I thought I was going to be doing before he was born, which was breastfeeding until he didn't want to breastfeed anymore. I breastfed for 6 weeks, and very vividly remember the night talking with Liz, with you, about I think I'm done, and just having someone there to kind of reassure me that that was a perfectly okay decision to make. And also to talk to the moms on the doula team and their experiences, and hearing about different people's experiences, just kind of validating that everyone has their own experience and there's no like wrong way. And I knew that my body wasn't going to be the best thing for any of us for me to keep going. And Kyle told me that, and all the doulas supported me in that, and just made me feel like really safe to make that decision. So in the end, my journey was not what I thought it was going to be, but I would still call it a success because everyone just made me feel like I could do what I needed to do, which was really helpful.
Yeah, and I think for the husbands, it's quite an odd place to be, because you want to help and you want to be able to do something, or you want to give advice or suggest maybe quitting, and seeing someone you love like so much go through difficulty or success, or just you're there but you're not there, and you don't know what to say and you don't know what's helpful, and having that mediator, that third person to be able to either ask the question before you say it, or to get advice for, or to ask, like, it was just very helpful to have another person and not feel like you were alone in a place you already are on the outside. And it kind of brought you in and almost made you feel closer, even though there was someone like in the middle. It kind of, it just made you feel as a man in the situation a lot more comfortable to be able to either voice your opinion or ask questions without feeling like you were trying to make a decision for your wife.
I think trusting other people to care for him was really great to have, like, from the start, because it helped us understand what to look for in caretakers. Inevitably, we are going to need help for longer than we have Bridgetown around, so it was really nice to understand what that feels like, to trust someone else with your kid. And I also think the relationships that we built with the doulas, and the fact that we'll have those forever, and Wes will be able to like meet you guys when he's older, and you can see him grow up and stuff. I think it's just a really cool thing for him to have, and for us to know if we have another kid, like what it's going to be like and what we do need. Just knowing that support is always there and available to us is huge.
Yeah, I think confidence was the biggest thing I took away from it. And trusting other people, trusting the questions you feel like you should ask, trusting that it's okay to not know something, and also trusting yourself that when you make a decision, like, chances are it was probably the right one. Like, I remember tons of times being like, I feel like it's this, and they're like, oh yeah, totally, that's like a great idea. Or, you know, where before you'd either make the decision or not make the decision, you had no idea if it was right or wrong, and whether or not it was right or wrong, having that other person there to tell you, like, yes, that's exactly like what we did, or that's how I would have approached it, was really reassuring and really inspiring as a new parent to go in to the journey without Bridgetown, knowing that, like, I can do this. They felt like family. I mean, like, honestly, it was like, it almost was just like a whole new day started. Like, just the friendships you made, and it just felt like it was like a family. It feels like how raising a child should be, a community with input from other moms and other people, and just that community warm feeling where you weren't alone in the struggle, and you weren't meant to be alone, and that there is help and people do care about you even though you're not related and you don't know them at all. That was so surprising, like I knew help would be great, but I didn't think it would feel like my mom coming over, where they are like family.
Mm-hmm. I think the like energy was just so calm and caring, and I was kind of like, I wasn't sure what that time was going to be like. Maybe it was going to be really chaotic or stressful, but just like, even when something was happening, you know, if we thought he was sick or something was happening that we were really worried about, the doulas were never like worried. They always were very
yeah, they're like superheroes.
Very level-headed, like always brought the exact energy that we needed in whatever was happening that day or night. I think that was like a really nice surprise, because I was thinking like, oh, it will be kind of a little more clinical, informal, and it felt just really, it just felt like a nice like blanket over us that we really needed. So that was really.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could not think of a reason why you wouldn't want to do that.
Whether or not you can
Yeah.
or have the means to, obviously, is another
Yeah, if you
question,
are
but-
able to do it, then I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't. There's no reason to just completely neglect like the wealth of knowledge that you would gain from even speaking for a day with them, let alone a couple months.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said earlier, I wish it was available for free to everybody, because there's research and studies that say that it literally saves moms' lives. So without a doubt, I would tell people to do it if you can, that you should. I think lactation support, yes, that part is so hard to say what type of support you're gonna need, because it's so different. But I think the doulas were like absolutely essential to helping me get through that. So yes, on all fronts.
But I think for the sake of your marriage and or partnership, it's worth its weight in anything that you spend, let alone all of the amazing care and skills you gain for how to like take care of your child, which is kind of the point. I think what it did for our ability to be a team and not constantly like questioning ourselves or each other or everything was invaluable. Like, I mean, it couldn't, even for that, for yourselves, not even for the baby, which is, that in itself is like the most important part, but for your own relationship, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd say it would set you up for success. Like, it would absolutely set you up for success. It will not take anything away from your experience, and it will only add and enhance it.
I think I would just say, if you're wondering whether or not this is something that you need, that you're probably wondering that for some reason that you are interested in having this type of care, and whatever that reason is, I think it's so much more than we expected. Having never, this is our first kid, never had doula support, having had kind of no idea what we were getting into, but just knowing kind of, I want something. I want some sort of care. It's really important to me to feel cared for and have answers and resources. I knew I wanted something, and so I would say it's a little bit of a leap of faith if you've never done it before, but just trust what it is, because it can provide a lot for that experience that you might not even realize.
Yeah, and it is not like a sign of ineptitude in you being a parent at all. It is absolutely okay to ask for help and to get help and to learn, because you'll do nothing but grow and come out the other side better than I think you ever could have been.